Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey!
It's your vice president and your president. And today we'll be taking a look at what's considered to be one of the greatest Godzilla films to come out of recent years. That being Godzilla Minus One, released and released November 3rd, 2023 in Japan. It had a budget of $10 to $15 million and grossed 113.6 to 116 million at the box office, making it a smashing success, only something that Godzilla himself could do.
True enough. So we decided that we'd let the resident Godzilla expert here on the channel kind of do this review for you guys. So, Take it away.
Alright, so the film opens up with this kamikaze pilot, because this film takes place near the ending events of World War II. But the film opens up with this kamikaze pilot who goes to this island in order to get his plane repaired, because he's essentially a coward in the Japanese culture, guys. Like let's call it what it is. He's a coward because he basically fakes a mechanical failure on his plane, right? And essentially what happens then is that like he's kind of like on the island now, and suddenly some fish start sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
So he sees dead fish rising up from the water, and he's like, "Huh, that's pretty weird." And then that night we see him. We see Godzilla in the darkness.
With the fish, you could say that's a lot of fish. If you know, you know. You're welcome.
Yeah. With this, like I said, sorry, he caught me off guard there. So essentially, Godzilla, he comes stomping around. He's like, destroys one of their towers, and they're telling the kamikaze pilot to shoot him with his gun because it's a 20 millimeter gun, and it can essentially kill anything, right? And so he doesn't, because he's afraid to. He gets terrorized in fear, and then he kind of gets knocked out by Godzilla himself, and then Godzilla just then destroys the entire base, right? Destroys the entire island. It's only him and this other dude who's basically like the main mechanical dude, right? To survive the whole ordeal. Because everyone else on the island, well, let's just say they're all sleeping with the fishes now.
Yeah.
So
I'll jump in and help speed this along.
Now he gets picked up he gets picked up by the Japanese Navy, and that's when he goes to the main island in Tokyo, where it's been firebombed by the Americans. Yeah, who knew? Who knew that us Americans firebombed Tokyo before doing our big invasion of it? Essentially, but because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the war is over now, and he picks up this girl and this baby as well, and kind of helps them and all that. And really nothing much else goes on. He gets a job to clear up the minefields and stuff and all that. And since he's a former kamikaze pilot, he basically becomes the gunner for the ship that they're on. And it cuts to where the Americans are testing out on the Bikini Atoll, right? And they're testing out a nuclear bomb there at the Bikini Atoll. That just so happens to be where Godzilla's chilling, and he gets radiation burns, and so Godzilla gets even more mad and even more powerful, because the Americans decided to drop a nuclear bomb on him,
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. And then afterwards, we then see Godzilla has destroyed a ship. By the way, he's just fully destroyed it, and they're like, did the Soviets do that? No. And so basically, then afterwards, Godzilla then starts following them because he's just like, yo, what's up, And Godzilla, he's like swimming towards them. They get a mine into his mouth, right? And the kamikaze pilot shoots the mine in his mouth. But that doesn't make Godzilla sleep with the fishes. Because this Godzilla is different from the other ones we've seen over the years. This one has regenerative abilities. He basically has Deadpool and Wolverine healing factor. This probably makes him one of the toughest Godzillas we've seen in the series.
There you go.
Yeah. So essentially what happens then is that, like, they see him regen, right? But then, like, the people from Singapore have finally come to show up and help them. And they, like, start blasting Godzilla. And then Godzilla's like, rises up, takes the ship down and stuff. And yeah, it's really fun. Cool. It's really fun. I love the destruction scenes that come with Godzilla films.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons why you watch it, right? You want to see Godzilla wreck stuff.
Yeah, and what's really cool about this movie is that not only is the destruction and mayhem of the Godzilla side of the story really good, but the human side of the story actually makes you feel for the humans and be like, hey, I actually want to watch these people instead of being like, get to the big monsters fighting each other like it is in the Monsterverse.
Right.
Because that's a thing that's a major criticism of the Monsterverse.
Excuse me.
But anyways, that's happening, and then the girl that he picked up, right, that he's like taking care of the girl and the baby and stuff, she goes ahead and gets a job within the... I'm not even going to try pronouncing the district's name, guys, because I don't speak Japanese. So, yeah, she goes into the city to get a job, but well and behold, Godzilla has decided to come storming and marching in and destroys the town. And we see, and this is where we get the first instance of his atomic breath, guys. And it is legitimately awesome because you see it slowly building up, right? I wish I could show a clip here, but unfortunately, international copyright law is
sketchy at best.
Yeah, international copyright law is very much something I don't want to deal with. But anyways, we see him charging it up, right? His spikes start coming up, and it's blue and stuff. Mind you, it's blue, not pink, blue. That's another thing from the Monsterverse that they decided to change. It's blue, but his spikes start coming up, and he's charging it, and you see it, he's like... And then he, like, blows it out, and when he blows it out, it basically is like a nuclear explosion that goes off, because it's just like... You know? And it does that, like, little whoom, you know, that outward blast, and then it comes inwards again, like a nuclear explosion, and it is awesome. It is an awesome moment. It's just so creative, too, on how they do it. But, yeah, and then, basically, they come up with this plan to make Godzilla sleep with the fishes by getting him into this trench, right, that goes like 1,500 meters deep, and they're going to basically use the pressure of the earth to crush him. But, let's just say that doesn't work, because he's just like, what do you think you're doing? How do you think I go around swimming all over the place? You know, of course I'm used to the pressure of the deep ocean. And so basically they, like, sink him down real quickly, right? This is the end of the movie. I kind of skipped a lot of stuff, but they, like, sink him down and stuff, and then they, like, make him rise back up again, and he's just like, nuh-uh, you know? And yeah, he's gearing up to do his atomic breath again, right? But then the kamikaze pilot, he basically had a plane built to basically be a bomb, so he can make it blow up Godzilla's head, right? And basically, we see there is that, like, the kamikaze pilot also had an injection seat where you could, like, eject as well. And then, so basically from there is like he like has the ship and it blows up and it blows up his head, right? Godzilla does. And Godzilla, you think that he sleeps with the fishes, and everybody's like, "Yay, hooray, woohoo!" You know. But again, this Godzilla is different because he has the Deadpool and Wolverine like healing factor, where he only needs like a cell to reform again. And that's what we see at the very end of the movie is this little tiny like piece of Godzilla starting to reform, meaning that he is in fact not dead.
And if you were wondering, he mentioned the woman. She kind of is a bit of a victim of Godzilla's rampage. But, yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, no, she goes into the city and she's on a subway train,
and you're looking bug-eyed like on them too. But yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, no, looking bug-eyed on them on a subway train.
You're welcome for that too.
And but like he looks at her and he just like tosses it away, and then she like pushes the kamikaze pilot into a crevice as he does his atomic breath nuclear explosion deal. And you think that she sleeps with the fishes, but she really didn't. And yeah.
But guys, that was Godzilla -1, and I thought he did a pretty good job this time around of kind of explaining the way that the movie worked. It is a tremendous piece of cinema, actually. The effects alone won an Academy Award, so there's that.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, this film, as he just mentioned, this film won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects at the Oscars, guys. It beat a Marvel film for Best Visual Effects.
I'm sure our audience, particularly, doesn't really care about Academy Awards, as we've reviewed quite a few movies that never even got a shot at them.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. As we said, the movie it's a phenomenal experience in the cinema itself. And the story, the human story, as he said, yeah, it's actually a pretty good one this time around.
And it makes you feel bad and sad when you think that one of the human characters has slept with the fishes. You're like, no! I was hoping they were going to stay till the end.
And I don't know much about all of the actors in the film, but they all played their parts very well. Yeah. And they all delivered it very, very well. And the Godzilla design this time around was very well done. So, yeah. Final rating. Let's get to that, of course. 5 out of 5. What say you?
5 out of 5 as well. There's a reason why this movie has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it seems like this is a movie that's a bit on the return to form, and hopefully going forward, we'll see more.
I should like to say, last year was 50 years of Godzilla, right? No.
Correction.
70 years of Godzilla, my mistake. Last year was 70 years of Godzilla, right? This movie was basically that big celebration of 70 years of Godzilla. So there's that on top of that as well.
But hey guys, as always, if you've seen Godzilla -1 and you think that it's the worst Godzilla movie that was ever made,
I got this. First of all, have you seen the 1998 Godzilla movie? Have you seen Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? Have you seen The Son of Godzilla? Do I need to keep going?
There's that. So, but hey, also, just remember, we're just
two idiots with a webcam. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show, except they actually don't.
So with that, guys, that wraps up kind of what we got planned for Foreign Film February.
Sorry, it's so late, guys.
We gotta move. We gotta move on, and moving forward. Hey, just so you guys know, special if you didn't already know. We'll be building and releasing videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So you guys will be seeing a lot more content, and it's our way of showing appreciation and thanks, because we really want to deliver more and more for everybody that's come on board recently. And all of you longtime OGs, you know who you are. We love and respect all of you. And one more thing to say before I get to the outro here, and that, of course, is that up next, we're moving into April here, and The big one we got coming up, I don't know exactly when this one will come out, but
Probably.
we really want to promote Prince of Egypt because it's coming,
Saturday
guys.
Before Easter.
It's coming. Prince of Egypt is going to be probably the next one that's going to be on the docket. So
the Saturday before Easter,
because
guys.
Also, if you guys didn't know, mad respects and well wishes to Val Kilmer's family, who unfortunately just lost the great Val Kilmer. So it's our way also of kind of honoring his legacy by giving one of the best movies that he was ever in. So with all that being said and out of the way, there's only one thing more left to say, and that, of course, is
peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.